ask that aisles, stairways, exit doors are passable at all times. We also ask that no glass containers are used in the facility. This is a reminder that this is a public school facility, and therefore there is no smoking anywhere on the campus grounds. Please keep the fire lanes open on the north and south side of the facility. Safety of athletes, officials, coaches, and volunteers is of paramount importance to YMCA swimming. Please proceed
Get started here, folks. YMCA States, brought to you by Varsity Media. Our afternoon session here at the Webster Aquatic Club is your 8 and under and 9 to 10 age group championships. All of New York State's YMCAs combining here for the state championship. Our first event will be the girls' 8 and under 100-yard individual medley. One lap of each stroke, butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, followed by freestyle. There are 4 heats in this in particular event. We're going to get started right here on time at 1:30. In Heat 1, Lane 2, we have Genevieve Spretzel. Lane 3, Rhea Volka. Lane 4, Leona Grant. Lane 5, Elliot Willis. Lane 6, Reese Wathy. Lane 7, Mia Vasuta. And Lane 8, Victoria Todoran. Starter has them on the blocks, and off they go. Here in Webster Aquatic Center, there are 10 total lanes. On the left of our screen here, we have lane 1, increasing all the way to the right there in lane 10. In Heat 1, we're just occupying lanes 2 through 9, but in the following heats, we will have a full boat. As they go over onto backstroke here, all swimmers must touch the wall with their hand first before flipping over onto their front for their breaststroke. It appears that our lead is currently held by Genevieve in lane 2 of the Huntington YMCA Bluefish. Her seed time is 2:06.39. Oftentimes our athletes here will be training specifically for this event. Only certain qualifying times made this, so all of the swimmers here have quite the accomplishment to make their way to YMCA States. Third length here is breaststroke. And our swimmers are transitioning into our final lap here. Dead sprint to see who takes Heat 1. 8 and under 100-yard individual medley. Things are tightening up. Could be anyone's race here. Your winner of that heat in lane 5, Elliot Willis. Elliot Willis of the Watertown YMCA Blue Sharks is your Heat 1 champion. Next up, Heat 2, 100-yard individual medley. All 10 lanes will be occupied for this. Swimmers are up on the block. Again, your order of laps here is butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, followed by freestyle. 1 length of each. In this heat, lane 1, Layla Augustin. Lane 2, Everly Gregoire. Lane 3, Maggie Hoos. Lane 4, Lily Baraka. Lane 5, Nora Smedela. Lane 6, Rachel Smith. Lane 7, Maeve Lockhart. Lane 8, Paige Przynski. Lane 9, Ellen Bay. And in lane 10, Lucy Crotty. Your top seed in this in lane 5 is Nora Smedela from Independent Health YMCA. Her time is 1:52.55. As we're halfway through here, we have a tightly contested race. Difficult to determine who exactly has the edge so far. This will be determined in our freestyle leg coming up after the breaststroke. All 10 lanes in this heat are highly competitive. As we transition to our final length, it looks like in lane 1 has a slight edge over the field. That's Layla Augustin of Cross Island YMCA Barracudas. Her seed time was a 1:56.89, and she's looking to better that by quite a bit here. Let's find out what her final time is and if she could hold on to that lead. And in the end, looks like lane 8, Paige Przewski, just takes it with a time of 1:44.91. Narrowly edging out Layla Augustin. Paige Przewski of the Glens Falls YMCA Gators Swim Club. Her seed time was a 1:53.48. She bested that with a 1:44.91. Significant time drop. As we transition on to Heat 3 of the 100-yard individual medley. Our top seed in this is in lane 5, Annie Rathfelder of the Shotland YMCA Sharks, local product of Pittsford here. Our remaining competitors in this heat, lane 1, Vivian Whitwood. Lane 2, Jocelyn Williams. Lane 3, Catherine Carroll. Lane 4, Gabriella Pizzucci. Our top seed in lane 5, Annie Rathfelder. Lane 6, Sophia Kishan. Lane 7, Zoe Powers. Lane 8, Audrey Hymek. Lane 9, Quinn Gurnessy. And in lane 10, Cleona Bright. All of the competitors in this heat are 8 years old. In this 8 and under 100-yard individual medley. 1 lap of each stroke, butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, followed by freestyle. Your leader at the turn is in lane 6, Sophia Kishan. Sophia Kishan of the Rye YMCA Wave Riders. For those following along at home, that's Rye, R-Y-E Riders. A play on where they're from, Rye, New York. Again, this is a statewide competition. Swimmers have joined us here from all over the state here at Webster Aquatic Center to determine the YMCA state champion in multiple events today. As we transition into our final lap, the freestyle lap, it appears as though lane 6, Sophia Kishan of Rye YMCA, is our leader. Her seed time was 1:48.20. Another significant drop for Sophie there with a time of 1:37.69. Again, these swimmers train for this specific event. We are going to experience quite a bit of big time drops across the board here. Okay, our final seeded 100-yard individual medley is going to be Heat 4. Following up right here, our top seed in this event is Levi Holtz of Independent Health YMCA. Their time is 1:31.61 to earn the top seed here at Webster Aquatic Center's YMCA States. As we go across our final heat, lane 1, we have Tamara Oliveira. Lane 2, Isabel Jimenez. Lane 3, Avery Hawk. Lane 4, Federique Medina Lashka. Lane 5, our top seed, Levi Holtz. Lane 6, Grace McManus. Lane 7, Lillian Yang. And in lane 8, Quinn Tobroke. Lane 9, Avery Zhao. And in lane 10, Faye Brock. Swimmers are about halfway through their individual medley. Your current leader after backstroke is in lane 4, Federique Medina Lashka. Swimmers touch the wall with their hand first and then flip over onto their front for the breaststroke portion of the individual medley. Our third lap is breaststroke here. The swimmers in the pool with that. They're finishing up with a freestyle sprint to the end to see who is determined the YMCA state champion in the girls 8 and under 100-yard individual medley. Federique continues to lead. Let's see if she could finish this off and be crowned the YMCA state champion in the 100-yard individual medley. She's looking strong from the flags in. Let's find out what her state winning time will be. Fredrike Medina Lashko of the YMCA East Hampton Hurricanes is your state champion in the 100-yard individual medley. Her time is a 126.67, followed by Levi Holtz, 129.31. And to round out the podium is Grace McManus with a time of 133.27. That is the event. That is the end of event 1. Next up, the boys take the stage. 8 and under, 100-yard individual medley. There are 2 heats of this. Our first heat, lane 4, Benjamin Liasco. Lane 5, Konstantin Zhao. And in lane 6, Sam Lopez. Top seed in this heat is Konstantin from Cross Island YMCA Barracudas. His seed time is 158.70. This is the same as the girls just did. 1 lap of each stroke. Butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, followed by a sprint freestyle at the end there. There are 2 total heats of this. 100-yard individual medley. Tight race for our first heat here. Does appear that any of these young gentlemen could take it. We'll find out who has the lead here halfway through. Watch as they'll touch hands first on the wall, flip over onto their stomach to the breaststroke halfway through. Tight race in between Konstantin and Benjamin. This is our youngest competing age group here, the 8 and unders. For our PM session here this afternoon, we have both the 8 and under age group as well as the 9 to 10 age group. Our event numbers for today are event number 30, leading all the way up to 56. Our final event of the day will be the 100-yard medley relay. A relay version of what we're witnessing right now, the individual medley. As we transition into our final lap, it appears as though in lane 4, Benjamin is holding a narrow lead over his competitors, finishing with our touch, and indeed Benjamin is your Heat 1 winner with a time of 153.08, besting his seed time of 201.51. Again, a nice drop. Okay, this is our final heat of the boys, 8 and under, 100-yard individual medley. We've got a full boat. All 10 lanes are occupied. In lane 1, we have Wells Heineman. Lane 2, Kyle Jin. Lane 3, Hunter Janish. Lane 4, Brandon Lake. Lane 5, Benicio Marquez Carrington of the Bed-Stuy Piranhas YMCA. He's your top seed with a 137.56 seed time. Lane 6, Connor Durbin. Lane 7, Ben Rubin. Lane 8, Carter Hardwick. Lane 9, Ethan Clark. And in lane 10, Aaron O'Shea. Again, your top seed is Benicio in lane 5. His seed time is 137.56. Benjamin does carry in that lead halfway through, touching first at the 50. Split time 43.49. See if he can continue his lead throughout and be declared the YMCA state champion in the 100-yard individual medley for the 8 and under group. All right, we're transitioning into our final length. Benjamin does continue his lead. Out there, too, we have a nice swim in lane 2 from Kyle Jin of the Huntington YMCA Bluefish. Kyle might be taking a bit of a lead here. It's tough to determine. This one's really going to come down to the touch. Let's find out who is our YMCA state champion. Came down to the touch, it sure did. And in lane 5, it's Benicio Marquise Carrington, your state champion in the 100-yard individual medley, followed by Kyle Jin with a time of 1:35.94. Marquise's time has not registered, but it is very, very close to our friend Kyle. Tight race there, but some good drops across the board. All right, now the 9 and 10-year-olds take over the show. First up is our girls, 9 and 10, 100-yard individual medley. There are 6 total heats of this. In heat 1, we have 3 swimmers. Lane 4, Aofi Fitzgerald. Lane 5, Adeline O'Shea. And in lane 6, Olivia Sanchez. Top seed in this heat is Adeline O'Shea with a time of 1:38.73. This is the 9 to 10 100-yard individual medley. There are 6 total heats of this event. Top seed in this is Riley Davis of the Glow Riptide with a time of 1:17.19. After the turn, Adeline O'Shea holds a lead, followed by Olivia Sanchez and Aofi. Getting ready to transition into our final lap. It does look like any of these swimmers could win Heat 1, 100-yard individual medley. We'll find out. Yeah, this is a tight one here. It's going to come down to the touch. Can't determine who exactly has the lead, but it is tight between these 3 swimmers. Down to the touch, we have Adeline O'Shea. Touching first at the time of 1:35.73. Best time by almost 3 full seconds. Oh, exactly 3 seconds. Actually, her seed time was 1:38.73. Nice drop across the board from all of our swimmers. Next up, we have Heat 2. Lanes 1 through 9 are occupied in Heat 2. Far right of the screen, lane 10 is unoccupied. Here we have in lane 1, Georgia Danzy. Lane 2, Parker McCoy. Lane 3, Bella Choi. Lane 4, Regina Akins. Lane 5, Avita Soria. Lane 6, Siddeley Henderson. Lane 7, Samantha Lee. Lane 8, Anna Magruder. And in lane 9, Emily Schmidt. Your top seed in this heat is Avita Soraya of Flushing YMCA with a time of 1:36.28. Only 2 seconds separates this entire heat of 9 girls, so this could be anyone's race. 50 yards in, Regina holds the lead, Regina Akins. In lane 4 of the Norwich YMCA Dolphins. Some shuffling, though, with breaststroke as we transition into our final lap. Again, this is a very tight race. Could be anyone's. Only 2 seconds separated all 9 of these swimmers. There are 3 swimmers in lane 2, 3, and 4 that appear to have a large lead over the pack. Your winner of Heat 2 is Regina Akins of Norwich YMCA Dolphins, touching first with a time of 1:27.43. Tremendous swim by her, dropping 9 seconds off of her seed time. Okay, now we're into full boats. All 10 lanes will be occupied for Heat 3, 100-yard individual medley. Another tight race. Less than 3 seconds separate our top seed, lane 5, Audrey Galeo, with a time of 1:33.00. From the rest of our field, our full field in lane 1, B. Martin. Lane 2, Charlie Owens. Lane 3, Mary Bork. Lane 4, Annabelle Buchner, excuse me. Lane 5, Audrey Gallego. Lane 6, Ava Starucha. Lane 7, Fiona Shala. Lane 8, Rosie Zick. Lane 9, Caroline Crawford. And in lane 10, Kimberly Pan. Your leader after 50 yards is Audrey Gallego of Rye. Her seed time was 1:33.00. But as you can see, an incredibly tight race between all 10 of these competitors. Looks like Audrey is maintaining her lead after breaststroke. We'll determine our heat winner in our final lap freestyle 100-yard individual medley. Coming down to the touch, it does look like Audrey is going to lead throughout. 126.29. Another nice drop for our Heat 3 winner, Audrey Gallego of Rye YMCA Wave Riders. Next up, we have Heat 4, 100-yard individual medley. Top seed in Heat 4 of YMCA East Hampton Hurricanes with a time of 129.31 is Elena Yanato. In lane 1, we have Ainsley Ronimus. Lane 2, Jenna Zarnecki. Lane 3, Ella Francis Rodriguez. Lane 4, Katie Hull. Lane 5, Alani Yanota. Lane 6, Nora Williamson. Lane 7, Haley Orjalowski. Lane 8, Mackenzie Dosh. Lane 9, Amelia Harrington. And in lane 10, Vivian Van Schneck. Okay, your leader at the 50 is Jenna with a time of 37.00, but we have a tightly contested race here. Let's find out. Across the board, this could be anyone's heat. Top seed time is 129.31. There have been significant drops across the board here, though. As they transition into the freestyle, appears to be a two-swimmer race between lane 4 and lane 5. Incredibly strong freestyle leg by Kate Hull in lane 4. She wins the heat with a 124.19. Kate Hull is your Heat 4 champion with a time of 124.76. Almost a 6-second drop for Kate. Good swim. Lane 5 is next. 100-yard individual medley. Lane 1, we have Dahlia Stevens. Lane 2, Kenzie Blank. Lane 3, Marta Rodriguez Villa. Lane 4, Ashley Lake. Your top seed in lane 5, Madison Clark of the Huntington YMCA Bluefish. Her seed time is a 123.25. Lane 6, Maeve McDermott. Lane 7, Anika Cohen. Lane 8, Harper Mulholland. Lane 9, Alyssa Bracero. And in lane 10, Reagan Tyler. This is Heat 5 of 6, 100-yard individual medley for the girls 9 to 10 age group. Mentioned this is a sold-out event here at Webster Aquatic Center. Every seat in the house is filled. Leader, 50 yards through the 100-yard individual medley in lane 1 is Dahlia Stevens of the Cortland YMCA Stingers. All the way out in lane 10, though, it appears as though Reagan of YMCA East Hampton is leading as we transition into our final length of the 100-yard individual medley. Indeed, Reagan in lane 10 looks like she's going to bring it home. Great swim by Reagan there. 1:18.82 from lane 10. That was a drop of over 10 seconds from her seed time of 1:29.15. Your Heat 4 champion is Reagan Taylor from lane 10. Now we have our final heat of the 100-yard individual medley. Top seed overall in this is Riley Davis with a time of 1:17.17. She's located in lane 5. In lane 1 is Luna Oak. Lane 2, Vicky Shang. Lane 3, Maya Moreno. Lane 4, Summer Garcia. Lane 5, Riley Davis with a top seed of 1:17.19. Lane 6, Ellie Powers. Lane 7, Penelope Valero. Lane 8, Miyoko Holcomb. Lane 9, Maya Saifullah. And in lane 10, Grace G. 50 yards in, Riley Davis holds a lead narrowly over Maya in lane 3 as we transition into our breaststroke leg. Find out who gets crowned New York State YMCA champion in the girls 9 to 10 100-yard individual medley. From lane 5, it looks like Riley of Glow Riptide maintains a lead from the flags in. Put your head down and power through. Beautiful time, 1:13.84. Great drop by Riley of Glow Riptide. She is the YMCA state champion in the 100-yard individual medley. That's Riley Davis with a time of 1:13.84, followed by Mia Marrero, 1:15.62, and narrowing out the podium is Ellie Powers with a time of 1:16.76. That puts a cap on our girls section of the 100-yard individual medley. Next up is the boys, 9 to 10 years old, 100-yard individual medley. There are 3 total heats in this event. Our first one has occupants in lane 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Lane 3, we have Samuel Thilo. Lane 4, Lachlan Pilmer. Lane 6, Ethan Liu. Lane 6, Jeffrey Wang. And in lane 7, Max Harrison. Top seed in this is Ethan of Flushing YMCA with a time of 1:36.86. The lead is existing in lane 6, Jeffrey Wang, as we transition from backstroke to breaststroke. We're halfway through this race. Indeed, Jeffrey does touch first there. His split is 41.36. Three total heats of this. Top seed overall is Ryan Z of Huntington YMCA Bluefish. His time is a 1:18.30. Getting into our final lap. In lane 6, Jeffrey is holding on to his lead here. Jeffrey's bringing it home here in his final length of the 100-yard individual medley. And indeed, Jeffrey Wang is Heat 1's winner with a time of 1:26.05. That is a tremendous drop from Jeffrey, who had a seed time of 1:37.01. Almost an 11-second drop there by Jeffrey. Good swim. Heat 2, we now have all lanes occupied. In lane 1, we have Matthew Bryan. Lane 2, Evan Woods. Lane 3, Rafael Morales. Lane 4, Daniel Zorn. Lane 5, in lane 5, your top seed in this heat, Joshua Gerber with a time of 1:31.16. Lane 6, Paul Krills. Lane 7, Anderson Smith. Lane 8, Felix Dorfler. Lane 9, William Morrison. And in lane 10, Gustavo Vasquez. Top seed time in this is Josh Gerber in lane 5. His time is 1:31.16. But we do have quite a tight field here. First to touch the wall in lane 7 is Anderson Smith. Oh, pardon me, actually William Morrison in lane 9 there. 3 swimmers were under 39 seconds at the 50 split as they go into breaststroke here. Looks like in lane 9, William Morrison is maintaining a slight lead over his competitors. Find out what happens here in our final lap, freestyle, in the 100-yard individual medley. Final few yards of this race, it's anybody's. Does appear, though, our champion in that heat is Joshua Gerber in lane 5. His time is 1:26.55. Joshua Gerber's seat time was 1:31.16, so another solid drop from Joshua. All right, our final heats. In lane 1, Brendan McCusker. Lane 2, Cyrus Chen. Lane 3, Lockerbie Newton. Lane 4, Colson Dahlberg. Your top seed in lane 5, Ryan Z of Huntington YMCA Bluefish. Lane 6, Henry Sullivan. Lane 7, Griffin Favero. Lane 8, Nolan Patry. Lane 9, Andrew Colquinso. And in lane 10, Toby Martin. Swimmers are about halfway through their race here. They're touching in backstroke. Right now, our current leader, split time of 34.84, is Colson Dahlberg of Watertown YMCA Blue Sharks. His seed time was 1:21.82. He is your 3rd seed in this, but does maintain a lead for now. However, in the breaststroke lead, we see Henry of the YMCA of East Hampton Hurricanes taking a slight lead after breaststroke. He looks to maintain that in the freestyle leg. From the flags in, it does in fact look like Henry. Henry is going to take home the YMCA State Championship in the 100-yard individual medley. Henry Sullivan of YMCA East Hampton Hurricanes. His seed time was 1:19.55. He touches the wall with a blazing time of 1:15.70 to be declared the state champion, the YMCA state champion in the 100-yard individual medley. Next up is the splash and dash, 50-yard freestyle, dead sprint. 1 lap down, 1 lap back. The splash and dash, 50-yard freestyle. Girls 8 and under take the torch first. In this heat, there are 5 of them. This is heat 1. We have occupants in 2 through 8. Lane 2 is Audrey. Lane 3 is Emma. Lane 4, Laura. Lane 5, Elliot. Lane 6, 7. Lane 7, Everly. And in lane 8, Rhea. Again, this is a fast heat here. It's just there and back. Swimmers in this are giving it everything they can to be as fast as they possibly can. Takes anywhere between about 45 seconds to 30 seconds to complete this race. Top seed in this heat is Elliott of Watertown YMCA Bluefish with a time of 45.44. Touching first place in heat 1 is Laura Coy of Norwich YMCA Dolphins. Her seed time is 46.04. She touched the wall at 39.64. Next up is heat 2 of 5, 50-yard freestyle, girls 8 and under age group. In lane 1, we have Stella. Lane 2 is Marlo. Lane 3 is Evelyn. Lane 4, Piper. Lane 5, your top seed in heat 2, Paige Heaven of Sands Sailfish. Lane 6 is Genevieve. Lane 7 is Grace. Lane 8, Lucy. Lane 9, Maggie. And in lane 10, Marie. As they hit our flip turn here halfway through the race, just there and back. Top seed in this is Paige Heaven of Sands Sailfish with a time of 43.35. Here's your leader is in lane 3, Evelyn Ivanovich of the Shotland YMCA Sharks. She does touch the wall first with a time of 40.77. Next up is Heat 3, 50-yard freestyle. Top seed in Heat 3 is Rose Tudhope of the Shotland YMCA Sharks. Time of 41.84. Rounding out this heat, in lane 1 we have Nora. Lane 2 is Zoe. Lane 3 is Cora. Lane 4 is Cleona. Lane 5, Rose. Lane 6, Tamada. Lane 7, Rachel. Lane 8, Emil. Lane 9, Alexandra. And in lane 10, Grace. This is heat 3 of 5, girls 8 and under 50-yard freestyle. Top seed overall is Frederique Medina Lashke of YMCA East Hampton with a time of 34.83. This is heat 3 of 5, event number 43. This afternoon, we will swim right through event 56. Leader entering the final portion of the lap is in lane 2, Zoe. Zoe Powers of East Hampton YMCA Hurricanes touches the wall first at 38.15. Her seed time was 42.58, so a nice 4-second drop there. Down to our final 2 heats. Top seed in heat 4 is Margot Bazzelli of New Rochelle YMCA Sailfish. Her seed time is 40.10. She's swimming in lane 5. The rest of the heat, in lane 1, we have Quinn. Lane 2 is Violet. Lane 3 is Maeve. Lane 4, Paige. Lane 5, Margaret. Lane 6, Penelope. Lane 7, Kyla. Lane 8, Vivian. Lane 9, Francine. And in lane 10, Elise. Tough to determine who has a lead entering this. There are a few competitors across the pool that look like they could be touching this wall first. It's going to come down to the touch, so we will find out. Oh, down by separating each other by just 2/100ths of a second. In second place in lane 4, we have Paige with a time of 37.18. And touching the wall narrowly ahead of her is Violet Pitches of YMCA of East Hampton, touching with a time of 37.16. We now have our final heat. Lane 1 is Nora. Lane 2, Gabriella. Lane 3, Mila. Lane 4 is Grace. Lane 5, top seed, Frederique Medina Lashka. Lane 6, Lillian. Lane 7, Levi. Lane 8, Zoe. Lane 9, Sophia. And in lane 10, Faley. This is your final heat, 8 and under 50-yard freestyle here at Webster Aquatic Center's YMCA States. Your state champion in the 8 and under 50-yard freestyle is about to be crowned. It seems as though it will hail from the middle of the pool in lane 5, your top overall seed, Frederique Medina Lashko of East Hampton Hurricanes. Her seed time was 34.83, and she touched the wall at 33.05. Being declared the New York State champion in the girls 8 and under 50-yard freestyle. The 8 and under gentlemen will have next. There are 3 heats of this 50-yard freestyle. In heat 1, lane 2, we have Adler. Lane 3, Vinny. Lane 4, Harrison. Our top seed in heat 1 is Isaac Vanderhoff of Oneida Dolphins. His time is 45.32. In lane 6 is Nicholas. Lane 7 is Nicholas as well. Lane 8 is Hadron. And in lane 9 is Jack. Again, top seed in this is Isaac of Oneida Dolphins. His seed time is 45.32. There are 3 total heats for the boys 8 and under 50-yard freestyle. As we're halfway through, tough to determine who exactly has our lead here. This could be anyone's 50-yard freestyle heat 1. This is event 44. Boys 8 and under, 50-yard freestyle. Appears as though lane 7, Nicholas Boglione of Auburn YMCA is in fact going to take it. Time of 38.94. He touches first from lane 7, Nicholas of Auburn YMCA Stingrays is your Heat 1 winner. Next up, Heat 2, 50-yard freestyle. There are 3 total heats of this. Top overall seed is Kyle Jin of Huntington, time of 36.79. Here in Heat 2, lane 1 we have Liam, lane 2 Leiden, lane 3 Wells, lane 4 Elliott. Top seed in Heat 2, Ethan Clark of Huntington YMCA. His seat time is 40.90. Lane 6 is Henry. Lane 7 is Ronan. Lane 8, Carter. Lane 9, Benny. And in lane 10, Victor. One lap down, one lap back to determine who takes Heat 2, 50-yard freestyle. Looks like a narrow lead is being held in lane 2 right now. Leiden Dickerson of the Rye YMCA Wave Riders. See if he could touch first from our flags in. Indeed, it is Leiden of the Rye Wave Riders touching first with a time of 38.19. Massive drop from his seed time of 43.90. Leiden is Heat 2 winner. Next up, we have our final heat. Top overall seed in this is Kyle Jin of Huntington YMCA Bluefish. He's in lane 5. His seat time is 36.79. Rounding out the field, though, in lane 1 we have Benicio. Lane 2, Henry. Lane 3 is Connor. Lane 4 is Hunter. Lane 5, Kyle. Lane 6, Grayson. Lane 7, Connor. Lane 8, Finnegan. And lane 9, Augustin. And in lane 10, Dallas. Top overall seed in this is in lane 5, Kyle Jin. His time is 36.79. Across the board here, this is a very tightly competed race here. Possible that lane 2 has a narrow lead. Lane 2 is Henry of YMCA of East Hampton. Henry does in fact take it. He is your state champion, 50-yard freestyle, 8 and under. His time is 35.80. Rounding out the podium, in second place, lane 6, we had Grayson Collins of Oneida. And in third place, lane 8, was Finnegan Ringwood of the Shotland YMCA Sharks. Next up, we have the girls 9 to 10 100-yard freestyle. 4 total laps of freestyle, the larger version of sprint freestyle here, 4 total laps. In lane 3, we have Avita Soria. Lane 4, Georgia Danzy. Lane 5, Emily Schmid. Lane 6, Agalia McLean. And in lane 7, Avi Fahey. Top seed in Heat 1 of 7 total is Emily Schmidt of Huntington YMCA Bluefish, and her time is 125.41. Leader at the turn is Agalia of the Independent Health YMCA. 3 out of 4 laps are done for our competitors here. They're hitting the final lap to see who wins Heat 1, 100-yard freestyle. This is event 45, the 100-yard freestyle, girls 9 and 10 years old. Your winner is Emily Schmid. She is from lane 5 in the Huntington YMCA Bluefish. She touches with a time of 121.21. That bettered her seed time of 125.41. From here on out, The remaining heats will all be fully occupied. All 10 lanes will be occupied. Here in lane 2, in heat 2, lane 1, we have Peyton Springer. Lane 2, Anna Oliver. Lane 3, Macy D'Amico. Lane 4, Avery Gregoire. Lane 5, your top seed in heat 2 is Sidley Henderson. Her time is 124.36. Lane 6, Kennedy Folds. Lane 7, Rory Dumond. Lane 8, Olivia Sanchez. Lane 9, Ella Simon. And in lane 10, Nina Holland. Top seed in this heat is Sidley Henderson of Maplewood City Waves. Her time is 124.36. Current leader appears to be in lane 9. However, that's Ella Simon of the Auburn YMCA Stingrays. Her seed time was 125.05, but it's going to be significantly lower than that. This is going to be a big drop for Ella. Indeed it is. She takes home first place in heat 2 100-yard freestyle, dropping from a 125.05 and touching the wall here at 124.28. Next up, we have heat 3, 100-yard freestyle, 4 total laps for these 9 and 10-year-old girls. Lane 1, we have Georgie Guttard. Lane 2, Ines Stein. Lane 3, Samantha Lee. Lane 4, Anna Pritchett. Top seed in heat 3 in lane 5 is Adeline O'Shea of the YMCA of East Hampton Hurricanes. Lane 6, Ainsley Ronamus. Lane 7, Annabelle Bucher. Lane 9, Peyton Roper. Lane 8, Peyton Roper. Lane 9, Vivian Van Scheck. And in lane 10, Bella Choi. Top seed in this is Adeline O'Shea of YMCA of East Hampton. Her seed time is 122.64. Less than 1.5 seconds separates this entire heat based on their seed time, so this could be anyone's race. At the first 50, your leader is Anna Pritchett in lane 4 of the Glow Riptide. As we go on into our final lap here, these swimmers will be flip turning and putting everything they have to finish in first place in heat 3. Girls, 9 and 10-year-old, 100-yard freestyle. Tough to determine who exactly has a lead right now. There are multiple swimmers vying for this first place. However, it does appear as though lane 4, Anna Pritchett of Glow Riptide, touching first with a time of 1:18.57. Winning heat 3, girls 9 to 10 100-yard freestyle. There are 7 total heats of this, and heat 4 is next. Lane 1 is Nevada Newton. Lane 2 is Mary Bork. Lane 3 is Layla Schneider. Lane 4 is Kimberly Pan. Top seed in lane 5 is Monica Martin of the Oneida Dolphins. Her seed time is 121.12. Lane 6 is Ella Francis Rodriguez. Lane 7 is Haley Adrowski. Lane 9 is Elena Yanada. Lane 8 is Elena Yanada. Lane 9 is Caroline Crawford. And in lane 10 is Vivian Rochia. Again, top seed in this is Monica Martin. She hails from Oneida Dolphins. Her seed time is 121.12. Your leader halfway through is Layla Schneider, touching with a 36.5. Layla Schneider is of the Auburn YMCA Stingrays, and her seed time is 121.59. As we go into our final lap here, let's find out who is going to win Heat 4 100-yard freestyle. Coming down to the touch in lane 3, Layla Schneider. wins it. Her time did not register, but it was going to be a hair faster than 1:16.80, Monica Martin, who was in second place in that heat. Okay, on to Heat 5. Heat 5, girls, 100-yard freestyle. There are 7 total heats of this, and this is Heat 5. In Heat 5, lane 1, we have Kate Hull. Lane 2, we have Jules Meyer. Lane 3, Catherine Friesch. Lane 4, Regina Akins. Lane 5, Charlie Owens. Lane 6, Mackenzie Dosch. Lane 7, Jenna Snarski. Lane 8, Quinn Flaherty. Lane 9, Maya Saifula. And in lane 10, Penelope Cochran. Top seed in this is Charlie Owens of Bed-Stuy Piranhas YMCA. Her time is 1:19.37. Here we have Heat 5. Your leader through 3 laps is in lane 1, and that's Kate Hull of Norwich YMCA Dolphins. Her seed time was 1:20.58. And it's going to be significantly better than that after this. This is going to be a big drop from her. Yep, touching first from lane 1, we have Kate Hull of Norwich YMCA Dolphins, bettering her seed time of 1:20.58 and touching with a time of 1:10.76. That time of 1:10.76 would be better than all of our competitors here in Heat 6. Let's run through them now. In lane 1, we have Rosie Zick. Lane 2, Parker McCoy. Lane 3, Nora Diefbacher. Lane 4, Ashley Lake. Lane 5, your top seed, Kenzie Blank of Kingston YMCA Hurricanes. Her seed time is 1:13.65. Lane 6 is Dahlia Stevens. Lane 7, Marta Rodriguez Villa. Lane 8 is Jaka Wang. Lane 9 is Ava Strachura. And in lane 10 is Nora Williamson. Touching first from lane 3 is Nora. Her split time is 33.06. Followed closely in lane 5 by Kenzie. Nora and Kenzie maintain their lead over the rest of their competitors. I think it's down to them. From the flags in, we'll find out who could dig deep and touch the wall first here in Heat 6. It is Kenzie with a time of 1:08.94, followed by Nora, her time 1:09.69. So, as we transition into our final heat, Kenzie of Kingston YMCA currently holds the top time with a 1:08.94. With 1 heat remaining, our final competitors in Heat 7. Lane 1, Reagan Tyler. Lane 2, Anika Cohen. Lane 3, Grace G. Lane 4, Madison Clark. Top qualifier, Novella Dunham of YMCA of East Hampton. Her time is 1:06.26. Lane 6 is Maya Moreo. Lane 7 is Ellie Powers. Lane 8 is Riley Davis. Lane 9 is Miyoko Holcomb. And in lane 10, it's Harper Mulholland. Top time is Novella Dunham, 1:06.26. Novella does have our lead here, 50 yards through. And she maintains that lead through her 3rd flip turn. See if she has what it takes to be declared the YMCA state champion in the 9 to 10-year-old 100-yard freestyle. From the flags in, her kick doesn't seem to be fading, and she does touch first with a time of 1:03.74. That's Novella Dunham of YMCA of East Hampton Hurricanes. Touching first with 1:03.74. The New York State champion in YMCA girls 9 to 10 100-yard freestyle. Up next, the boys have it. Event 46 is boys 9 to 10, 100-yard freestyle. There are 5 total heats of the boys. Lane 1 is going to kick it off here. We have occupants in lanes 4, 5, and 6. In lane 4, we have Kai Kobayashi Colston. Lane 5, we have Charles Fitch. And in lane 6, we have James Van Cowenberg. Our top seed in this is Charlie Fitch from the Sands Sailfish. His time is 125.10. However, all competitors have a 125 seed time, so we are thinking this could be a tightly contested race between these 3. Let's find out who wins Heat 1, 100-yard freestyle. Kai is the first to touch, narrowly followed by Charles. Their splits are 35.4 and 35.5 respectively. Kai is maintaining his lead with 3 laps down as they transition to their final flip turn. The last 25 yards for these young gentlemen. Again, there are 5 total heats. Top overall seed is Brendan McCusker of Geneva, YMCA. His time is 110.05. We'll see him in Heat 5. Kai with a nice final lap there. His time didn't register, it was somewhere in the 116s range, so a nice swim by Kai there. Followed by Charlie, and finishing third, we have James. Okay, now we have Heat 2, 100-yard freestyle for these 9 and 10-year-old boys. In lane 1, we have Luke Zhang. Lane 2, Flavio Pipoli. Lane 3, Ryder Abram. Lane 4, McCollin Dadi. Lane 5, your top seed, Ansel Humans of Saratoga Regional YMCA Stingrays with a time of 1:23.17. Lane 6, Connor Gibson. Lane 7, Caden Raggy. Lane 8, Benjamin Van Leenen. Lane 9, Evan Woods. Top seed here is Ansel, and his time is 1:23.17. Ansel is maintaining a lead with a split time of 35.50 after his first 50 split. There are 5 total heats of the boys 9-10 100-yard freestyle here at YMCA States. All of the YMCAs in New York State come together here at Webster Aquatic Center for our glorious state championships. We're about halfway through our final lap. It appears as though Ansel is going to maintain a lead throughout, followed closely by Connor. Wow, almost came down to the touch right there. Ansel is your Heat 2 winner. Ansel Humans from Saratoga. His time is 1:16.45, followed incredibly closely by Connor Gibson with a time of 1:16.54. Now shifting into heats where every lane, all 10 lanes, will be occupied for the 100-yard freestyle. This is Heat 3. In lane 1, we have Sebastian Countermine. Lane 2, Evan Ergot. Lane 3, Harvey Stewart. Lane 4, Neo Morris. Lane 5, your top seed in Heat 3 is Sawyer Horn of Oneida Dolphins. His time is 1:21.65. Lane 6 is Felix Dorfler. Lane 7 is Jasper O'Connor. Lane 8 is Emmett Ingerson. Lane 9, Ethan Liu. And in lane 10, Ben Gramelli. Touching first is Neo. Split time of 34.21. Does have a significant margin on the rest of his competitors right now. Let's see if Neo could bring this home. In lane 4, Neo hails from the Cortland YMCA Stingers. Okay, this is what makes swimming exciting here. We now have a lead taken over by Harvey Stewart. Nice back half of Harvey's race here. Putting everything he has into it. Let's see if he can touch the wall first, or is it Sebastian Counterminer It is Sebastian of the Glow Riptide. Nice drop by him. His seed time was 1:23.07, and he touched the wall first there with a time of 1:14.87. Heat 3 champion is Sebastian Countermine of Glow Riptide. Final two heats. Next up, we have Heat 4. Lane 1 is Elliot Telarchik. Lane 2 is Claude Minich. Lane 3 is Bobby Tortora. Lane 4 is Jackson Gubret. Lane 5, your top seed in Heat 4 is Joshua Gerber of the Manta Rays with a time of 1:17.05. Lane 6 is Christian Van Hagen. Lane 7 is Paul Krills. Lane 8, Evan Sullivan. Lane 9 is Rafael Morales, and in lane 10 is Matthew Bryan. Top seed in this one again is Joshua Gerber in lane 5 of the Manta Rays. First person to touch in that heat is Jackson. Jackson in lane 4, Jackson Gorete of Auburn YMCA Stingrays. His time coming in here today was 1:18.13. Jackson does maintain his lead into the final turn. Let's see if he can put the finishing touches on this race and win Heat 4, event 46, boys 9 to 10, 100-yard freestyle. Jackson taking it home from our flags in. He in fact does touch first. Jackson Gorete of the Auburn YMCA Stingrays. Touching first with a time of 1:13.63. Now we have our final heat. Heat 5, boys 100-yard freestyle. Lane 1, we have Ryan Erst. Lane 2, we have Nolan Patry. Lane 3, we have Zachary Chen. Lane 4, we have Colston Dahlberg. Top seed, lane 5, Brendan McCusker of the Geneva Family YMCA. His time is 1:10.05. Lane 6, Ryan Z. Lane 7, Griffin Favero. Lane 8, Lockerbie Newton. Lane 9, Calvin Butenmuller. And in lane 10, Toby Martin. Your leader after 50 yards is Colston Dahlberg with a time of 31.46, followed by Lockerbie Newton of Glow Riptide. As we transition into our final turn, looks to be a race between lane 7 and lane 4. In lane 8, we have Lockerbie Newton. And in lane 4, we have Colston Dahlberg. Touching first, though, is Lockerbie Newton with a time of 1:04.67. Significant drop by Lockerbie. His seed time was a 1:16.08. Dropping 12 seconds, almost 12 seconds, to be declared the New York State champion in boys 9 to 10, 100-yard freestyle. Next up, we have some short stuff. It is 25 yards backstroke. First up is girls 8 and under. This is one length of the pool, and our swimmers will be starting at the far end of the pool, swimming towards the deeper end of this, where they'll touch the touch pads. 25 yards. In the girls 8 and under 25-yard backstroke, there are 8 total heats. In heat 1, lane 3, we have Maribel Sutter. Lane 4 is Nora Kelly. Lane 5, top seed in this from Saratoga Regional YMCA Stingrays, is Dahlia Ali. Lane 6, Haley Patry. And in lane 7, Samantha Feldy. "25 yards of backstroke from one end of the pool to the other." Our competitors are off. There are 8 total heats of this. Tight race between our competitors here in Heat 1. Nora Kelly. Lane 4 appears to have a slight lead. She does touch first. Unregistered touch there, followed by Mirabelle and Dahlia. Okay, on to heat 2. 25-yard backstroke. Lane 1, Lucy Zick. Lane 2, Adriana Lewis. Lane 3, Jenny Pandori. Lane 4, Avery Jin. Lane 5, top seed in this heat of YMCA of East Hampton Hurricanes is Margot Thoreau, the time of 24.95, followed by Elise Bobeldick. Lane 7, Madison Bruner. Lane 8, Penelope Pinkston. Lane 9, Gabriella Becker. Lane 10, Paige Miller. 25 yards backstroke. This is heat 2 of 8. Here we are in event 47 at the New York State YMCA Championships held here at Webster Aquatic Center. Taken from the flags in, this could be anyone's race. All 10 lanes appear to have a shot. We'll have to go to the board to see who touches first. Appears though Adriana Lewis in lane 2 is heat 2's winner. Adriana Lewis is from the Independent Health YMCA. Her seed time was 25.11 and she touched there with a time of 22.27. Next up we have heat 3. Girls 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. Lane 1 we have Evelyn Ivanovich. Lane 2, Nova Morris. Lane 3, Addie Wellington. Lane 4, Audrey Romans. Lane 5, Jocelyn Williams. Lane 6, Elliot Willis. Lane 7, Piper Rothberger. Lane 8, Emma Bryan. Lane 9, Victoria Todorin. And in lane 10, Rhea Volchka. Your top seed in this is Jocelyn Williams of the Huntington YMCA Bluefish. Her seed time is 24.67. Let's find out who takes heat 3, girls 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. Touching the wall first. In lane 1 is Evelyn Ivanovich from the Shotland YMCA Sharks. Her seed time was 24.84 and she touched there with a time of 23.35. Next up we have heat 4. Girls 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. Lane 1, Isabel Kim. Lane 2, Ava Vincent. Lane 3, Marlo Flaherty. Lane 4, Layla Ishak. Lane 5, top seed, Marie Ying of Bed-Stuy Piranhas. Time of 24.18. Lane 6, Taryn Adiemi. Lane 7, Anna Koperik. Lane 8, Paige Heaven. Lane 9, Cora Shea. And in lane 10, Lydia Von Schenk. Tight race, all 10 lanes occupied, could be anyone's. First one to touch the wall is Lydia Von Schenk of Saratoga. Time of 24.38. Lydia's time, seed time was 24.63. Okay, on to heat 5 of 8 total, 25-yard backstroke. Girls 8 and under. In lane 1, Ava Escobar. Lane 2, Stella McCusker. Lane 3, Nora Middleton. Lane 4, Laura Coy. Lane 5, Angela Reyna. Top seed from Huntington YMCA Bluefish. Her time is 23.70. Lane 6, Emma Harmon. Lane 7, Mia Sherman. Lane 8, Mia Vastuyata. Lane 9, Maddie LaChance. And in lane 10, Reese Wathy. First one to touch the wall in heat 5 is Nora Middleton of Saratoga Regional YMCA. She touched the wall at 21.84 and her seed time was 23.76. Nice drop. Okay, we're on to heat 6 of 8 total. In lane 1, Leona Grant. Lane 2, Lily Baraka. Lane 3, Violet Pitchers. Lane 7, Tamada Alvera. Lane 5, top seed of YMCA of East Hampton is Zoe Powers. Lane 6, Grace Pollock. Lane 7, Nora Nigolo. Lane 8, Annie Rathfelder. Lane 9 is Catherine Carroll. And in lane 10 is Diana Gao. This is heat 6 of 8 total. First to touch the wall in heat 6 is going to be Zoe Powers with a time of 21.60. She betters her seed time of 22.61 to take heat 6 of girls 8 and under 25-yard backstroke. Zoe Powers of East Hampton Hurricanes. Next up is heat 7, 25-yard backstroke, girls 8 and under. Lane 1, we have Zoe Dart. Lane 2 is Quinn Torbrock. Lane 3 is Avery Zhao. Lane 4 is Everly Gregware. Top seed in heat 7 is in lane 5, Kyla Raggy of Lockport Stingrays. Her seed time is 21.32. Lane 6 is Mila Adams. Lane 7 is Alexandra Horner. Lane 8 is Rose Tudhope. Lane 9 is Rachel Smith. And lane 10 is Francine Gilroy. First to touch the wall, heat 7 is going to be, looks like Zoe Dart in lane 1 of Oneida Dolphins, touching the wall at 21.85. We now have our final heat, 25-yard girls, 8 and under backstroke. Our lineup here in lane 1, Emil Davis. Lane 2, Vivian Whitwood. Lane 3, Avery Hawk. Lane 4, Lillian Yang. Lane 5, Isabel Jimenez. That's our top seed from YMCA of East Hampton. Her seed time is 17.96. Lane 6 is 7, Richardson. Lane 7, Grace McManus. Lane 8, Sophie Keishan. Lane 9 is Maddie Fakasha Horvath. And lane 10, Margaret Basil. First to touch the wall is your top seed, is Isabel Jimenez with a time of 18.72. She is your state champion, YMCA, 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. Next up is the 8 and under boys 25-yard backstroke. There are 4 total heats of this. Top seed overall is in lane 4. That's Finnegan Ringwood of the Shotland YMCA Sharks. His time is 20.95. Here in heat 1, we have lane 1, Pip K. Lane 2, Seamus McCusker. Lane 3, Lalo Grimshaw. Lane 4, Clay Dahlberg. Lane 5, Callan Karstens. Lane 6, Victor Hernandez. Lane 7, Sam Lopez. Lane 8, Charles Van Roomdak. And in lane 9, Kieran Ortiz. Top time in this heat is Callan Karstens of Saratoga Regional YMCA with a 24.55 in lane 5. All lanes except for 10 are occupied in this heat. First to touch the wall in heat 1 is Clay Dahlberg of Watertown YMCA Blue Sharks. His time is 23.66. Now in heat 2, lane 1, we have Oliver Borsodi. Lane 2, Grayson Smithers. Lane 3, Hayes Smith. Lane 4, Elliot Hardwick. Lane 5, Benjamin Lacasco. Lane 6, Liam Guerrero. Lane 7, Aaron O'Shea. Lane 8, Ronan Shea. Lane 9, Nicholas Boglione. And in lane 10, Nicholas Alessi. Top seed in this is Benjamin Lacasco. His time is 23.97. First to touch the wall in heat 2, boys 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke, is going to be lane 8, Ronan Shea. His time didn't register there. Sometimes it's tough for these kids to touch the pad that stops it from going. But our winner there was Ronan O'Shea. He's in lane 8 from the YMCA of East Hampton. Next up is heat 3 of 4 total. Lane 1, we have Adler Shen. Lane 9, we have Henry Bielstein. Lane 3, Grayson Collins. Lane 4, Hadrian Van Roomdock. Lane 5, top seed from Geneva Family YMCA. Time of 22.61 is Emmett Powell. Lane 6, Philip Germain. Lane 7, Thomas Cohill. Lane 8, Harrison Madison. Lane 9, Avery Sears. And in lane 10, Isaac Vanderhoff. We'll find out who's touching the wall first here in heat 3 of 4 total. Boys 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. It's Grayson Collins, lane 3 of Oneida Dolphins. His seed time was 23:06, and he touched the wall first there with a time of 21.59. This takes us to the final heat, boys 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. In lane 1, we have Dallas Smith. Lane 2, Henry Popadick. Lane 3, Ben Rubin. Lane 4, Connor Patry. Lane 5 is your top seed of Shotland YMCA, Finnegan Ringwood, with a time of 20.95. Lane 6, Emilio Ramirez. Lane 7, Brandon Lake. Lane 8, Lyden Dickerson. Lane 9, Augustin Lada. And in lane 10, Konstantin Zhao. This is your final heat, boys 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. We will crown our state champion, YMCA, 25-yard backstroke, and it appears to be in lane 6, Emilio Ramirez, touching the wall first with a time of 20.26 of Rye YMCA Wave Riders. First place, Emilio Ramirez. His time was 20.26. Okay, this brings us to the girls, 9 to 10-year-old, 50-yard backstroke. There are 6 total heats, there and back, swimming backstroke. These swimmers will start from in the water. In heat 1, lane 4, we have Tanya Bonanno. Lane 9, we have Piper Sherwood. Lane 6, we have Gigi Gernesi. Lane 7, we have Evelyn Rathfelder. Top seed in this heat is Piper Sherwood of Oneonta Family YMCA. Her time is 46.76. First heat is off. Okay, as we're 50% through here, 25 total yards of this 50-yard swim. Solid flip turns across the board from our first 4 competitors. Looks like in lane 6, Gigi Gernesi is holding on to a narrow lead over her competitors. She's from the Fulton YMCA Speed Demons. She is going to touch first. That's Gigi Gernesi of Fulton YMCA Speed Demons. She touched the wall with a 44.64, lowering her seed time of 49.63. Heat 2 of 6 is next. This is a full boat. All 10 lanes will be occupied. Lane 1 is Jordan McPherson. Lane 2 is Annabelle Buchner. Lane 3 is Luna Oak. Lane 4, Rory Dumond. Lane 5, top seed in Heat 2 is Vivian Van Schneck of Saratoga Regional YMCA. Her time is 44.14. Lane 6 is Evelyn Waters. Lane 7 is Audrey Gallego. Lane 8 is Skylar Borden. Lane 9 is Emily Gillot. And in lane 10 is Brinley Brock. Evelyn Waters is your top seed here from the Huntington YMCA Bluefish. Her time is 44.19. However, this entire heat, 1 to 10, is separated by less than 1 second. So this could be anyone's heat here in Heat 2. Competitors will be in the water here shortly. There are 6 total heats to this. This will be followed by boys, 9 to 10-year-old 50-yard backstroke. 6 total heats of that as well. We've got a full day of swimming for you here at Webster Aquatic Center. This will be followed by our older competitors' finals after this. Be sure to tune in. Appears as though our officials pretty much got everything sorted out here. Takes a lot to put on a swim meet here. There are multiple timers at every lane, multiple officials making sure that our swimming is legal here today. There's a lot to it. I see some thumbs up going from across the officials, and it looks like we are ready for Heat 2 of event 49, girls 9 to 10, 100-yard backstroke. Excuse me, this is a 50-yard backstroke. My apologies. All right, Heat 2 is off. All right, 2 laps of backstroke. We do have a full boat here. Across the board, all 10 lanes are occupied. Top seed is held by Vivian Van Schneck of Saratoga Regional. Her time is 44.14, but again, less than a second separates this entire heat's seed times. So anybody really could take this. Find out who is going to touch the wall first. There are many competitors that appear to be vying for that first one. First to touch the wall is Audrey Gallego of Rye YMCA Wave Riders. She touches the wall at 40.90, lowering her seed time of 44.40. Next up is Heat 3. Girls, 9 to 10-year-old, 50-yard backstroke. Lane 1 is Nina Holland. Lane 2 is Penelope Cochran. Lane 3 is Ella Simon. Lane 4, Charlie Owens. Lane 5, Kimberly Pan, top seed in Heat 3 of Rye YMCA Wave Riders. Her seed time is 42.68. Lane 6, Nora Williamson. Lane 7, Avi Fahey. Lane 8, Alexa Feliday. Lane 9, Nevada Newton. And in lane 10, Lily Smith. This is Heat 3 of 6 total. Girls, 9 to 10-year-old, 50-yard backstroke. Halfway through our race here, tough to determine who exactly has a lead. Again, a very tightly contested heat with less than a second separating all of our competitors based on seed time. Slight lead appears to be held in lane 3. That's Ella. She does, in fact, touch first with a time of 43.34. Ella of Auburn YMCA. Next up is Heat 4. Girls 9 to 10, 50-yard backstroke. In lane 1, we have Kate Hull. Lane 2 is Jules Meyer. Lane 3 is B. Martin. Lane 4, Adeline O'Shea. Top seed in Heat 4 is Jakaya Wang of Flushing YMCA. Her seed time is 41.29. Lane 6, Elena Janata. Lane 7, Monica Martin. Lane 8, Parker McCoy. Lane 9, Bella Choi. And in lane 10, Maeve McDermott. Halfway through our race here, all of our competitors are off the 25-yard wall. Tough to determine from this vantage point who has the lead. Multiple competitors could be the one to touch the wall first here. This will be determined from the flags in. Let's find out. First to touch is Jakaya Wang. Her time, 39.15. Jakaya Wang of Flushing YMCA, bettering her seed time of 41.29. Next up is Heat 5. Lane 1, we have Emily Schmidt. Lane 2, Mary Bork. Lane 3, Quinn Flaherty. Lane 4, Summer Garcia. Lane 5, Ashley Lake. She's your top seed here. She's from Saratoga Regional YMCA, and her seed time is 38.95. Lane 6 is Novella Dunham. Lane 8 is Ella Francis Rodriguez. Lane 8 is Anika Cohen. Lane 9, Harper Mulholland. And in lane 10, Catherine Free. Okay, we're entering our flip turn here. Some nice walls. Again, another pretty tightly contested heat we have. Heat 5 of 6 total. Looks like lane 6, Novella Dunham, is going to be our first one to touch the wall. She, in fact, she's from East Hampton, YMCA. Novella Dunham. Her time is 36.61. That's bettering her seed time of 39.35. It's really good swims across the board here. And this is our final heat. Heat 6 of 6 total. Our lineup, lane 1, Nora Diefenbacher. Lane 3, Reagan Taylor. Lane 3, Grace G. Lane 4, Ellie Powers. Top seed, Vicky Shang of Saratoga Regional YMCA. Her time is 35.25. Lane 6, Penelope Vallejo. Lane 7, Jenna Zarnecki. Lane 8, Alyssa Bracero. Lane 9, Riley Davis. And in lane 10, Ava Stachora. Let's find out who will be crowned the state champion. YMCA girls 9 to 10, 50-yard backstroke. With just the flags to go, it's tough to determine who has this lead. We're going to have to go to the board to see who touches first. And it is Nora Diefenbacher from lane 1 on the outside of Norwich YMCA Dolphins. Her time is 35.90, bettering her seed time by a significant margin of 38.30. Okay, it's the boys' turn now. Boys, 9 to 10, 50-yard backstroke. There are 6 total heats for the boys. Heat 1, we have occupants in lane 4, 5, and 6. Lane 4 is Hudson Stork. Lane 5 is Caleb Lowe. Lane 6 is Aaron McPherson Jr. All right, there and back, 50-yard backstroke. This is our first heat of 6. Top seed in this event is Griffin Favero. His seed time is 37.88. Okay, looks like in lane 4, Hudson is going to be the first one to touch the wall here. He's putting a good margin here. Nice touch. It is Hudson there. Hudson from the Huntington YMCA Bluefish is your Heat 1 winner. His time is 49.30. And for the record, his seed time was 107.84, so quite the drop by Hudson there. Next up is Heat 2. We have 9 lanes occupied here in Heat 2. Lane 1 is Brockton Mitchell. Lane 2, AJ Strubley. Lane 3 is Henry Ivanovich. Lane 4, Colin McNamara. Top seed in Heat 2 is Zachary Horace of Bed-Stuy Piranhas. His time is 45.01. Lane 6 is Isaiah Leonardo. Lane 7 is Maxwell Farley. Lane 8 is Beckett Lockhart. And in lane 9 is Anderson Dello Streeto. Halfway through our race. Looks like there's a narrow lead in lane 4. That's Colin McNamara of the Shotland YMCA Sharks. His seed time going into today was 45.80. See if he could hold on to his lead from the flags in. Looks like we have a little bit of a surge from some other competitors. And in lane 5, Zachary Horace from Bed-Stuy. Touching first with a time of 42.01. Bettering his seed time of 45.01. Next up, Heat 3. Boys 9 to 10, 50-yard backstroke. Lane 1, Banks Heineman. Lane 2, Christian Von Hagen. Lane 3, Ethan Liu. Lane 4, Lachlan Palamer. Lane 5, top seed in Heat 3 is Lawton Ferris of Norwich YMCA Dolphins. His time is 44.06. Lane 6 is Samuel Casebolt. Lane 7, Benjamin Van Leenen. Lane 8, McCollin Daddy. Lane 9, Colston Smith. And in lane 10, Lucas Smith. Lawton Ferris is your top seed at 44.06. These young swimmers are bringing it from the flags in to see who's going to touch the wall first here. And it is McCollin Daddy. McCollin Daddy of Oneonta Family YMCA touching first with a 41.83, bettering his seed time of 44.73. Heat 4 is next. Here is our lineup. Lane 1, Jasper O'Connor. Lane 2, Neo Morris. Lane 3, William Morrison. Lane 4, Calvin Butenmiller. Top seed, Ryan Arist of Sands Family Sailfish. His time is 42.98. Lane 6, Gavin Smithers. Lane 7, Sawyer Horn. Lane 8, Jeffrey Wang. Lane 9, Jamison Smith. Lane 10, Harvey Stewart. Again, your top seed here is Ryan from the Sands Sailfish. He's in lane 5, and his seed time is 42.98. As these boys put their flip turn behind them, they're halfway through their final lap. Appears a slight lead is in lane 3. That's William of the Rye YMCA Wave Riders. He does take it. His time is 40.05. William Morrison of the Rye YMCA Wave Riders. He bettered his seed time of 43.40. There are just 2 heats remaining of the boys 9 to 10-year-old 50-yard backstroke. This is Heat 5. Lane 1 is Evan Sullivan. Lane 2 is Rafael Morales. Lane 3, Ryder Abram. Lane 4, Cyrus Chen. Lane 5, your top seed from the Flushing YMCA is Zachary Chen. His time is 40.87. Lane 6 is Danielle Zorn. Lane 7, Flavio Pipoli. Lane 8, Evan Woods. Lane 9, Dominic Latta. And in lane 10, Jackson Gorete. Again, top seed is Zachary Chen from Flushing YMCA with a time of 40.87. Lane 4 currently is having a lead, Cyrus Chen of the Rye YMCA Wave Riders. Let's see if he touches first. Indeed, yep, that's Cyrus Chen touching first with a time of 38.15. He bettered his seat time of 42.21. That just leaves our final heat of the boys, 9 to 10, 50-yard backstroke. Lane 1, Nolan Patry. Lane 2, Henry Sullivan. Lane 3, Ansel Umans. Lane 4, Anderson Smith. Lane 5 is Griffin Favero of Waterton YMCA Blue Sharks. He is your top seed with a 37.88. Lane 6 is Brendan McCusker. Lane 7 is Andrew Kokinko. Lane 8 is Emmett Ingerson. Lane 9 is Toby Martin. And in lane 10 is Henry Tudhope. Coming off of the wall, looks like lane 2, Henry Sullivan of East Hampton Hurricanes has a lead. Let's see if he could hold on to it from the flags in. Henry Sullivan indeed touches first with a time of 35.62, followed by Anderson Smith, 36.99, and Brendan McCusker with a 37.08, rounding out our podium for the state championships, YMCA boys 9 to 10, 50-yard backstroke. Next up is girls 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle. This is event 51 of 56 that will be competed here this afternoon. In lane 3, we have Emma Bryan. Lane 4, we have Evelyn Ivanich. Lane 5, we have Adriana Lewis. Lane 6, Lucy Crotty. And in lane 7 is Layla Augustin. Top seed in heat 1 of 5 total in the girls 8 and under 100-yard freestyle is Adriana Lewis of Independent Health YMCA. Her seed time is 145.43. 4 laps for these young ladies here. Kind of a long race for this age group, but these girls are tackling it quite well. Your lead at the 50 is held by Evelyn of Shotland Family YMCA. Her seed time is 147.83 entering this meet. Getting down to our final flip turn. Evelyn is maintaining her lead into the final lap. Final 10 yards of the pool, and it looks like Evelyn is just putting a bigger lead on her competition. She will be the first to touch here. Let's find out what her time is. There we are. That's what swimming is all about right there. What a huge drop by Evelyn there. Her seat time is 147.83, and that's a 131.97. Significant drop. She's your champion, she's your winner, pardon me, for heat 1 of girls 8 and under 100-yard freestyle. Now we're moving on to some full occupancy here. Lanes 1 through 10 will all be occupied here in heat 2. Lane 1 is Nora Miglio. Lane 2 is Stella McCusker. Lane 3 is Reese Wathy. Lane 4 is Paige Heaven. Top seed in heat 2 is Cora Shea of the Auburn YMCA Stingrays. Her time is 140.08. Lane 6 is Marie Ying. Lane 7 is Quinn Tobraki. Lane 8, Piper Rothenberger. Lane 9 is Violet Pitches. And in lane 10 is Audrey Romance. 4 laps of the pool freestyle. Seems like our leader for now is going to be from lane 7. That's Quinn Tobrock. Her 50 split is 44.10. All right, Quinn appears to have a lead still, but there is some moves from Violet in lane 9 there, and our pack is sort of muddling together here. We have one more lap to dig in. Again, this is somewhat of a longer race for the young ladies this old here. However, it does appear that Quinn is going to maintain her halfway lead and make it a wire-to-wire victory here in the girls 8 and under 100-yard free, Heat 2. She touches the wall with a time of 1:32.38. That is Quinn Tobraki of Saratoga Regional YMCA. Seed time was 1:40.36. Here she touched the wall at 1:32.38. This brings us to Heat 3 of 5 total. Girls 8 and under 100-yard freestyle. In lane 1, we have Genevieve Sprezel. Lane 2, Maggie Hoos. Lane 3, Elise Babeldik. Lane 4, Paige Perziski. Top seed in lane 5, Emil Davis of Bed-Stuy Piranhas with a seed time of 1:36.54. Lane 6 is Audrey Hamick. Lane 7 is Nora Smadela. Lane 8 is Marlo Flaherty. Lane 9 is Jocelyn Williams. And in lane 10 is Alexandra Horner. 4 laps of the pool freestyle. Your leader at the 50-yard turn is going to be from lane 4, Paige Perzicki. Her split time was a 40.59. She's got some good distance on her competitors here. She was the first to touch the wall by almost 4 full seconds. Past Paige, though, there are lots of competitive places to be sorted out. Paige is actually adding some distance here. Let's find out what she could touch the wall in. Let's run by her. That is Paige Perzicki. Touching the wall first with a time of 1:22.17. She is of the Glens Falls YMCA Gators. Her seed time was 1:36.94. Next up, we're on Heat 4 out of 5 total. Lane 1, we have Catherine Carroll. Lane 2, Island Bay. Lane 3, Penelope Pinkston. Lane 4, Grace Slonacker. Top seed in Heat 4 is in lane 5, Kyla Raggy of the Lockport Stingrays. Her time is 1:30.69. Lane 6 is Margot Basil. Lane 7, Annie Rathfelder. Lane 8, Avery Zhao. Lane 9, Grace Pollock. And in lane 10, Nora Middleton. Tightly contested heat here as we round the halfway point. Lane 6, Margot Bazelli is going to have our lead. Her split time is 41.85. as we enter our final turn. Our field is pushing together just a little bit. Again, this is a pretty long distance for these 8 and under young ladies. So leads can come and go. It appears as though our winner of Heat 5 is going to be lane 8, Avery Zhao. Avery Zhao of Saratoga Regional YMCA. Her seed time was 132.56, and she touches the wall first at 129.67 to win Heat 4. Girls 8 and under 100-yard freestyle. Our final heat with our top seed, Levi Holtz of the Independent Health YMCA. Her time is 118.43. She's in lane 5 here. The rest of our lineup is lane 1, Zoe Dart. Lane 2, Avery Hawk. Lane 3, Mila Adams. Lane 4, Gabriella Pazzucci. Lane 5, Levi Holtz. Lane 6, Federique Medina Lashko. Lane 7, Isabel Jimenez. Lane 8, Faley Brock. Lane 9, Francine Gilroy. And in lane 10, Maddie Fakasha Horvath. First to touch the wall is Levi Holtz, followed by Federica Medina Lashko. They are neck and neck ahead of the rest of the field. It's going to come down to this last lap to see who will become the state champion of YMCA Girls 8 and under 100-yard freestyle. It is those two swimmers for it all. They're going to dig in here from the flags in to see who can touch the wall first, and it is Levi Holtz, followed narrowly by Federique Medina Lashko. Their times are Levi Holtz 114.11 and Federique with a 114.40. Okay, that means the boys will be taking it away. 8 and under 100-yard freestyle. This is the start of event 52. There are 3 total heats of boys 8 and under 100-yard freestyle. Heat 1 will be kicking it off. In lane 2, Drew Lamb. Lane 3, Gideon Matthews. Lane 4, Adler Shen. Top seed in lane 5 in this heat is Oliver Borsodi of Auburn YMCA Stingrays. His time is 144.50. Lane 6 is Nicholas Alessi. Lane 7, Benjamin Lacascio. Lane 8 is Benny Zick. And in lane 9 is Graham Horton. 4 total laps freestyle. At the 50, your leader is Nicholas Alessi. His split time is 43.92. Nicholas holds on to the lead. As we round out our final flip turn, transitioning into our final lap for these 8 and under competitors, 100-yard freestyle here at the YMCA State Championships. This is heat 1 of 3, boys 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle. In lane 6, Nicholas Alessi from Oneida Dolphins. His seed time was 145.68. Very tight race between him and Benjamin Lacascio of the East Hampton Hurricanes. Benjamin takes first place with a time of 138.33, followed narrowly by Nicholas, 138.52. Next up is Heat 2, boys 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle. This is the last individual event of this session of YMCA States. Here we have Heat 2. In lane 1 is Ronan Shea. Lane 2 is Augustlin Latta. Lane 3 is Aaron O'Shea. Lane 4 is Benicio Marquez Carrington. Lane 5 is your top seed, Ethan Clark from Huntington YMCA Bluefish. His seed time is 1:32.78. Lane 6, Emilio Ramirez. Lane 7, Liam Sell. Lane 9, Isaac Vanderhoof. Lane 9, Nicholas Boglione. And in lane 10, Connor Hardwick. 50 yards down here in Heat 2. There looks to be many swimmers that will be competitive to win this heat. We'll find out what happens here in the second half of this race. All right, these guys are rounding it up right here. They've just done their flip turn. Everybody's pretty much been across the wall and are on their final lap here. Difficult to see who exactly has taken the lead. Does look like lane 4, Marquise, getting a little bit ahead of his competitors, but we'll find out what happens here in this final stretch. Indeed, it is Marquise. Excuse me, that is Benicio Marquise Carrington of Bed-Stuy Piranhas, bettering his seed time by a significant amount. His seed time was 1:37.31. He touches the wall first here in Heat 2 of 3 with a time of 1:26.95. Here we have our final heat. This is the last individual event of this session. This is the state championship final heat, boys 8 and under 100-yard freestyle. In lane 1, Henry Beilstein. Lane 2, Lyden Dickerson. Lane 3, Connor Patry. Lane 4, Connor Dervin. Lane 5, your top seed from Rye YMCA Wave Riders with a time of 1:24.16 is Ben Rubin. Lane 6 is Finnegan Ringwood. Lane 7, Hunter Janish. Lane 8, Grayson Collins. Lane 9, Braden Lake. And in lane 10, Dallas Smith. First to touch the wall at the 50-yard mark is Connor Dervin from Glow Riptide. His 50-yard split is 37.21. Can Connor hold on for this final 25? Okay, halfway through our final 25, Connor appears to be putting a little bit of distance onto his competitors here. It looks like he is going to be the one to touch first here at the boys state championship, 8 and under 100-yard freestyle. In fact, Connor does touch first. We had a little bit of an error with our touch pads, so I'm not sure what Connor's time was exactly, but he is your New York State YMCA champion in the 100-yard freestyle for 8 and under boys, followed by Ben Rubin and Connor Patry. Ben Rubin's time was 1:23.31, followed by Connor with a 1:25.81. Again, we don't know Connor's time exactly, but he is your New York State champion, boys 8 and under 100-yard freestyle. Okay, on to the relays. Next up is the medley relay. Each team will swim every stroke in our swimming program. The order today will be backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, freestyle. This is event 53 of 56 for this program here. There are 2 total heats of the girls' 200-yard medley relay. Each swimmer swims 2 lengths, combining for a total of 200 yards. Again, backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle. In lane 1, we have the Glen Falls Gators. Lane 2, the Watertown YMCA. Lane 3, Cortland YMCA Stingers. Lane 4, Auburn YMCA Stingrays. Lane 5, top seed in this heat is the Bed-Stuy Piranhas YMCA. Lane 6, Saratoga Regional. Lane 7, Oneida Dolphins. Lane 8, Shotland YMCA Sharks. Lane 9, Bed-Stuy Piranhas. And in lane 10, the Maple City Waves. Backstrokers are in the water. Right now, lane 3 holds a lead over the rest of the field. That's lane 3, Cortland YMCA, and Dahlia Stevens was your backstroker. She just handed it right off there to Emily Wang in the breaststroke leg. Lane 3, Cortland holding on to a lead, but we do see a bit of a surge from lane 6, which is the Saratoga Regional YMCA. Beg your pardon, lane 5 is unoccupied. We don't have our Bed-Stuy Piranhas in lane 5. Okay, after our breaststroke here, it appears as though Cortland is going to hold on to their lead. We'll find out when it comes down to the touch. Indeed they do. Followed by Saratoga and Oneida. Butterflyers are now in the water. Lane 6, our Saratoga Regional YMCA appears to have a strong lead with this butterfly leg. These butterflyers are going to hand off to the final swimmer, the freestyle swimmer, that will take home. First person to touch the wall and hand off to our freestyle swimmers is the Saratoga YMCA. Followed by lane 4, the Auburn YMCA Stingrays. It's coming down to our last swimmer. Oh, we had her stop and fix her goggles. That's what this is all about, though. Look at that strong finish, though. It is, in fact, Saratoga, followed by the Auburn YMCA Stingrays. Just a quick stop to fix her goggles, but that's okay. She wants to be able to see. Love to see it. Okay, that brings us to our finals. The last heat of girls 9 to 10 200-yard medley relay. Our lineup for this is in lane 1, the Flushing YMCA. Lane 2, Oneonta Family YMCA. Lane 3, Rye YMCA Wave Riders. Lane 4, Saratoga Regional. Lane 5, your top seed from YMCA of East Hampton, the Hurricanes. Their time of 124.75 is your top seed. Followed by the lane 6, Huntington YMCA Bluefish. Lane 7, the Norwich YMCA Dolphins. Lane 8, New Rochelle YMCA Sailfish. Lane 9, the Glow Riptide. And in lane 10, YMCA of East Hampton Hurricanes B Relay. Your top seed is YMCA of East Hampton. Reagan Taylor is your backstroker. Maya Saifullah is the breaststroker. Ellie Powers is your butterfly swimmer. Finishing with Novella Dunham in the freestyle. Their time of 224.75 is followed narrowly by the Huntington YMCA Bluefish with a seed time of 224.88. The state champion of the YMCA Girls 9 to 10 200-yard medley relay will be crowned in this event. Looks like lane 7 is going to have our first place leading into the breaststroke. That's the Norwich YMCA Dolphins. Nora Diefenbacher just handed off to Kennedy Foles in that. Nora had split a 36 in that backstroke to give her team the lead. Things do look to be shifting a little bit in the breaststroke leg as lane 5 appears to have the lead 25 yards into the breaststroke. That is Maya Saifullah, the breaststroker for the East Hampton Hurricanes. She'll be handing off to Ellie Powers, butterflyer for East Hampton. That was a split of 41.20 for East Hampton. Huntington with another strong split as well, 41.05. Huntington, that was Maeve McDermott. Our butterflyers are in the water, and we have an incredibly strong leg by our top seed. That's the YMCA of East Hampton. This is Ellie Powers, the butterflyer in the water. She is handing off to Novella Dunham with the lead. However, a nice little surge there from Huntington. Maya Marrero, this split of 32.12. It's down to the freestylers, and this race is occurring right in the middle of the pool between your two top seeds, Huntington and East Hampton. Two programs that traveled a long way to get here from their home in Long Island. Very nice time to cap things off for East Hampton. Novella Dunham with a split of 29.44 to cap off a state championship for East Hampton in the girls 9 to 10 200-yard medley relay. It's the boys' turn next. Boys 9 to 10 200-yard medley relay is next up here at YMCA New York State Swimming Championships. There are two heats for the boys 9 to 10 200-yard medley relay. A reminder that each team swims all 4 strokes. The order will be backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle. Our lineup for Heat 1 in lane 3 is Bed-Stuy Piranhas. Lane 4, YMCA of East Hampton. Lane 5, Shotland YMCA Sharks. Lane 6, Bed-Stuy Piranhas. And in lane 7, Manta Rays. Top seed in this heat with a time of 2:59.10 is the Shotland YMCA Sharks. Dominic Latta is your backstroker. Henry Tudhope, breaststroke. Rafael Morales, butterfly. And Samuel Casebolt is your freestyler. Second seed in this heat is the Bed-Stuy Piranhas. They're followed with a 302.22. That's Zachary Horace, swimming backstroke. Connor Gibson, swimming breaststroke. Benjamin Van Leen in fly, and Aaron McPherson Jr. in freestyle. There are two teams with no time present. That is the Bed-Stuy Piranhas B relay in lane 3, and in lane 7, the Manta Rays. This is boys 9 to 10 200-yard medley relay. 2 lengths each stroke. Heat 1 of 2. Today's top seed is YMCA of East Hampton. They have a seed time of 2:34.54. They're followed very closely by the Rye YMCA Wave Riders with a 2:35.33, and the Huntington YMCA Bluefish with a time of 2:35.69. But for now, our top time is the Shotland YMCA Sharks here in Heat 1. Backstroke goes first since these swimmers start in the water. Each one will do a relay exchange. Once they touch the wall, their following swimmer is allowed to enter the water and swim their length of the relay. It appears as though our leader, after one length of this relay is going to be from lane 4, the YMCA of East Hampton. That was Colton Smith touching the wall first of East Hampton. Breaststrokers are in the water. Looks like we have a nice breaststroke swim from lane 5. That is the Shotland YMCA Sharks. And Henry Tudhope is the breaststroker in the water. Appears as though he might hand off a lead to his butterflyer. But this might come down to a touch here as we have the Bed-Stuy Piranhas, Connor Gibson, also swimming a strong breaststroke leg. Here we have our exchange, and indeed, Connor Gibson with a split of 42.86 gives Bed-Stuy the lead, entering the final 2 exchanges of this relay. In the water right now for Shotland YMCA is Rafael Morales, and for Bed-Stuy is Benjamin Van Leen. These butterflyers will hand right off here to our freestylers to finish off this first heat of 200-yard medley relay, event 54 of 56. Freestylers in the water for Bed-Stuy, we have Aaron McPherson Jr. And for the Shotland YMCA, it's Samuel Casebolt. In addition, in lane 4, for the East Hampton Hurricanes is AJ Struble. And for Bed-Stuy in lane 3, Lucas Ralph. For the Manta Rays in lane 7, swimming freestyle is Joshua Gerber. And your first place finisher, as it comes down to a very close touch. In first place, I think the time is a little bit wrong there, but in first place in lane 3 is Bed-Stuy. Pardon me, yep, that's an error on there for sure. Yes, okay, so in first place, in lane 5, we have the Shotland YMCA, followed by East Hampton in lane 4, and in third place there, we have lane 7, the Manta Rays. Okay, this will take us to Heat 2, the final heat of the boys, 9 to 10, 200-yard medley relay here at the YMCA New York State Swimming Championships. In lane 1, the Sands Sailfish. Lane 2, Glow Riptide. Lane 3, Flushing YMCA. Lane 4, Huntington YMCA Bluefish. Lane 5, YMCA of East Hampton Hurricanes. Lane 6, Rye YMCA Wave Riders. Lane 7, Watertown YMCA Blue Sharks. Lane 8 is the Saratoga Regional. Lane 9, Watertown YMCA B. Lane 10 is Auburn YMCA Stingrays. Okay, so we have a little bit of a false start here. This is not something that's going to count. We got to get these kids to stop, and to do so, what we're going to do is we're going to lower a rope. Don't want them to go too far. This is not the start of the race. Not the start of the race. These poor guys. I'm sure the officials are going to give them a little bit of a time. Not exactly a fair thing for these kids to have raced, because they were putting their all into it there. Not exactly fair for these kids to have done their full length of backstroke and then be asked to do it again. So don't be shocked if we take a short pause here and allow these athletes to regain their breath here. Won't be an unreasonable amount of time, but again, there was a few kids in that water that put their all into that 50-yard backstroke that wasn't going to count for anything. So we're going to give these kids a little bit of time to catch their breath. In just a moment, we'll be starting the final heat of the boys, 9 to 10, 200-yard medley relay here at Webster Aquatic Center. A state champion will be crowned here in the 200-yard medley relay. Top seed for now is the YMCA of East Hampton Hurricanes. They're in lane 5. Their swimmers for this, backstroke is Ryder Abron. Breaststroke is Henry Sullivan. Butterfly is Paul Krills. And freestyle is Christian Von Hagen. Your second seed is the Rye YMCA Wave Riders. Backstroke is Cyrus Chen. Perfect. Okay. So over the PA, we are learning that this Heat 2 is going to be swam after the final heat of event 56. So after the boys 8 and under 100-yard medley relay, these gentlemen that were just in the water, they're going to come back and make, that's when they're going to swim Heat 2, what we were just talking about in the 200-yard medley relay. So that's going to give those kids enough time to recharge their batteries, maybe cool down a little bit, because they want this to be as fair as possible to truly crown our New York State champion. So we're going to switch gears here, and we're going to move on to event 55. Event 55 is the girls 8 and under 100-yard medley relay. The way this is going to operate is 2 swimmers are going to be on each side of the pool. There are 4 total swimmers that swim one length or 25 yards apiece. Same as we did with the 200-yard medley relay, the order is going to be backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle. Just these 8 and under kids are going to be swimming one length or 25 yards each. So your breaststrokers and your freestylers are going to be down at the far side of the pool, where your backstrokers and butterflyers, swimmer number 1 and 3, are going to be at the block end of the pool. They'll be doing their same exchanges just after 25 yards. Here we have Heat 1 of 2. In lane 2 is the Independent Health YMCA. Lane 3 is Shotland YMCA Sharks. Lane 4, Geneva Family YMCA. Lane 5, top seed in this heat is the Bed-Stuy Piranhas. Lane 6 is Cross Island YMCA Barracudas. Lane 7 is YMCA of East Hampton Hurricanes. And in lane 8 is Auburn YMCA Stingrays. So here we have an exchange. These kids are on a block. There's blocks on both ends. We will only get splits on the block end where there is a touch pad. So here the breaststrokers have just entered the water. It does appear as though lane 2 has a lead. We'll find out what happens when these swimmers touch and hand off to our butterfly swimmers. Yep, butterfly swimmers are now in the water for Independent Health YMCA. They do have a pretty nice lead here from lane 2. Independent Health YMCA, the team of Adriana Lewis, Levi Holtz, Nora Smadela, and Madeline West, in that order. So Nora is in the water now. She's about to hand off to Madeline, the freestyler. Madeline, let's see if she could take it home to win Heat 1 of the 100-yard medley relay for girls 8 and under. Madeline, in fact, is going to touch the wall first. She has unregistered time, but she is the first to touch the wall, and that is the Independent Health YMCA, winning Heat 1 of 2 total. Adriana Lewis, Levi Holtz, Nora Smadela, and Madeline West of the Independent Health YMCA. Now, Heat 2, our final heats of the girls 8 and under 100-yard medley relay. Lane 1, Shotland YMCA Sharks. Lane 2, Fulton YMCA Speed Demons. Lane 3, Hunting YMCA Bluefins. Lane 4, New Rochelle YMCA Sailfish. Top seed, YMCA of East Hampton Hurricanes with a time of 121.11. Lane 6, Rye YMCA Wave Riders. Lane 7 is the Saratoga Regional YMCA. Lane 8 is Rye YMCA Wave Riders B. Lane 9 is Watertown YMCA Blue Sharks. And lane 10 is Saratoga Regional YMCA. Backstrokers just wrapping up. Lane 5 holds a lead. Lane 5 is the YMCA of East Hampton. Isabel Jimenez was your backstroker. Federique Medina is your breaststroker. Handing off right now to Zoe Powers, your butterflyer. Halfway through the race here, they touched at 41.12 with just the butterfly and freestyle legs to go. Zoe Powers will be handing off to Violet Pitches, swimming freestyle there. The lead remains for YMCA of East Hampton. Their seed time was 1:21.11. I think the only question here is will they be able to better their seed time, because the victory looks all but shorn up. And in fact, they do. Touching first under 1 minute and 20 seconds is East Hampton, followed by Saratoga. Again, I don't know the precise time, but it was under 120. Could have been under 119 too. But that's our YMCA of East Hampton, the Hurricanes. Isabel Jimenez, Federique Medina, Zoe Powers, and Violet Pitches. New York State YMCA champion in the girls 8 and under 100-yard medley relay. Next up is the boys, event 56, 8 and under boys 100-yard medley relay. There are 2 heats. In heat 1, we have the Oneida Dolphins. Lane 5, the Geneva Family YMCA. Lane 6, the Cross Island YMCA Barracudas. The top seed in this heat is the Geneva Family YMCA with a time of 1:45.96. Vinny Davis is your backstroker. Seamus McCusker is your breaststroker. Emmett Powell, butterfly. And Liam Sell is your freestyler. Heat 1 of 2, 100-yard medley relay. 2 swimmers on either side of the pool. Each swimmer swims 25 yards. 4 together makes 100. Order is backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle. Pretty even. After butterfly, looks to be tight between Geneva and the Cross Island YMCA, and even Oneida with Benny Zick slipping in there to make this a very tight race between the 3 teams in Heat 1. Here will be our halfway point with just butterfly and freestyle remaining. First one to touch the wall is lane 6, and that is the Cross Island YMCA. Alexander Zhao was the breaststroker there, handing off to Konstantin Zhao, the butterflyer. Maybe that's a family affair. Konstantin does look like he's putting a little bit of distance between his competitors here from the Cross Island YMCA. He's going to hand off here to Philip Germain, the freestyler for Cross Island. Oneida looks to shake things up as well here. Isaac Vanderhoof is their freestyler. He looks like he's actually taken a bit of a lead there. Indeed he has. From the Oneida Dolphins, freestyler Isaac Vanderhoof. They win Heat 1 of the boys 8 and under 100-yard medley relay. The Oneida Dolphins of Grayson Collins, Benny Zick, Nicholas Alessi, and Isaac Vanderhoof win Heat 1 boys 8 and under 100-yard medley relay with a time of 1:38.76. Next up is our final heat, Heat 2, boys 8 and under 100-yard medley relay. In the pool now in lane 2 is Auburn YMCA. Lane 3, Huntington YMCA. Lane 4, the YMCA of East Hampton. Top seed YMCA of East Hampton A relay. That's Henrik Papadick, Harrian Van Rumato, Aaron O'Shea, and Benjamin Lacasio. Watertown YMCA is in lane 6. Lane 7 is the Rye YMCA Wave Riders. Lane 8, Shotland YMCA Sharks. And in lane 9, the Bed-Stuy Piranhas. YMCA of East Hampton is your top seed with a time of 125.86. Halfway through, we have first touching is East Hampton, 45.05. A little bit of a confusion there in lane 8. We had a individual swim freestyle instead of breaststroke, but hey, we're here. This is 8 and under swimming. That's okay. That is kind of why you'll see a little bit of a lead from there. They did have a swimmer swim kind of out of position here. So we'll find out what's going to happen here. In the pool, though, if we subtract lane 8, it does look like lane 7 here. Lane 7 is the Rye YMCA Wave Riders. They are going to touch first, regardless of what happens with our swimmers out of order here. And so Rye is touching first with a time of 124.53. Tremendous swim by Lyden Dickerson, Owen Flahive, Emilio Ramirez, and Ben Rubin. They are your New York State champions in the boys 8 and under 100-yard medley relay from the Rye YMCA Wave Riders. Okay, let's take this kind of back in time here. We are going to reverse back to event 54, and this is heat 2 of event 54. This is the boys 9 and 10 200-yard medley relay. Just as a recap, we put this at the end here because there were some backstroke swimmers that accidentally swam their full 50-yard backstroke. So we decided to have this here at the end to ensure safety of the athletes and fairness for this. So we are, okay, good. I'm making sure, yes, all swimmers are in the pool. Let's reset this. In lane 1, we have Sands Sailfish. Lane 2 is the Glow Riptide. Lane 3 is Flushing YMCA. Lane 4, Huntington YMCA. Lane 5, YMCA of East Hampton. Lane 6, Rye YMCA. Lane 7, Watertown YMCA Bluefish. Lane 8 is Saratoga Regional YMCA. Lane 9 is Watertown YMCA Blue Sharks. And in lane 10, we have the Auburn YMCA Stingrays. Butterflyers are already out of the water. Slight lead, it appears, by lane 6, but there's so much left to be swam. Let's find out who touches the wall first and what their time is. Looks like lane 4, Huntington YMCA, they touch wall first. That was Jeffrey Wang, the breaststroker, handing off to Ryan Z, your butterflyer. Let's find out if they could apologies, that's a backstroker. Our backstroker on Huntington was Anderson Smith, handing off to Jeffrey Wang. Let's reset and find out our leads halfway through this race. Looks like lane 5, YMCA of East Hampton is going to take the lead after breaststroke. That is Henry Sullivan, the breaststroker of YMCA of East Hampton, handing off to Paul Krills. Followed by lane 4, Huntington YMCA, Jeffrey Wang, the breaststroker, just handed off to Ryan Z, the butterflyer. Looks like our race here is coming down to lanes 4 and 5, Huntington YMCA and 4 and YMCA of East Hampton. Strong butterfly leg by Ryan Z, Huntington YMCA. Appears as though he may hand off a narrow lead to Bobby Tortora, excuse me. In lane 5, Paul Krills is handing off to Christian Von Hagen. Final swimmers here in the water. With one length to go, it's coming down between lanes 4 and lanes 5. Tough to determine who has the lead or the edge. It's just going to come down to the touch between Huntington and East Hampton. Maybe some distance put on by East Hampton. We had a misregistered touch. From a sight line here, East Hampton appeared to have touched the wall. before Huntington by a very narrow margin. Not sure, because we didn't have a registered touch by East Hampton. Wow, what an exciting race that had to come down to a touch. We'll find out what happens. Okay, that's a wrap for our coverage of the 10 and under session. Please join us here tonight at 6 o'clock for the finals for 11 and over. Just going to pause to see if we have an actual results. Okay, we'll recap that when we come back. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you at 6 o'clock.